I thought I might stay over tonight.
Why?
Because we're girlfriend-boyfriend.
To do what?
I'm actually not sure.
I don't want you here.
Ken was literally made for Barbie. He came along 2 years after she did and was immediately introduced as her boyfriend. But their relationship wasn't always smooth sailing. In 2004, Mattel, the company that makes these dolls, announced that Barbie and Ken were breaking up. But eventually, they got back together. When we were kids, we all invented our own storylines for Barbie and Ken's relationship. Your toys probably went through a ton of drama, and Ken was most likely not the most faithful partner. A lot of us had just one Ken doll to go with several female dolls. I guess their relationship status doesn't really matter anymore. In the Barbie movie, we saw their story through Greta's eyes. Would you call her characters a perfect couple? Or who is a better partner for Barbie? And why aren't Barbie and Ken married yet? Spoilers ahead. If Ken was made for Barbie, this channel was made just for you. Hit that subscribe button and like this video. The Barbie movie takes place in the fantastical world of Barbie Land, where everything runs perfectly and there are no problems. How did this doll society manage that? Simple. Women are in charge. Barbie Land is a matriarchy. We see President Barbie, journalist Barbie, lawyer Barbie, Dr. Barbie, and just Ken. Men aren't taken seriously. Their interests and feelings don't matter to anyone. Basically, it's just like our world, but flipped. That said, the men in Barbie Land are actually luckier than women in the real world. They aren't sexualized. After all, they don't even have genitals.
And I would just like to inform you, I do not have a vagina. And he does not have a penis. We don't have genitals.
I have all the genitals.
And domestic violence isn't an issue, since it isn't discriminated against. This is the world where Barbie and Ken's relationship begins. Then they have to confront a reality where men are in charge, and the Barbie doll embodies the patriarchal ideal of womanhood. Barbie gets a taste of all the hardships Ken has faced. She learns what discrimination is and what it feels like when no one takes you seriously because of your gender.
Excuse me, sir, do you have the time?
You respect me.
Sorry, no, do you know what time it is?
No, I do not.
Okay.
Why didn't Barbie tell me about patriarchy, which, to my understanding, is where men and horses run everything?
Barbie experiences sexualized harassment, faces judgment over her appearance, and deals with stereotypes. All of this makes her think about what the Kens go through. If men could go on an exchange program to Barbie Land, they'd probably have a lot to think about, too.
Anxiety. I have it too. They're just awful at this age.
I feel amazing.
That's because kids don't take it out on the dads.
It's hard to understand what discrimination feels like until you experience it yourself. That's probably why the Barbie movie didn't exactly thrill male audiences. In the US, only about 35% of viewers were men. But why can't Barbie and Ken be together in either world? It's clearly not because they don't understand each other. If that were the case, men and women wouldn't be able to have relationships at all, because they're supposedly so different.
What if there's beach? You'll need someone who's a professional in that.
Did you bring your rollerblades?
I literally go nowhere without them.
Barbie is a character who's been assigned every stereotypical feminine trait. It's incredibly important for her to be perfect at everything. Remember how she almost fainted when she discovered she had cellulite? Barbie has strong emotional reactions to everything that happens in her life.
Ever think about dying?
She can cry just because she thinks real girls find her outdated. This shows her immaturity. But in Barbie Land, she's not alone in this. Barbie Land is a utopia where everyone lives perfect lives in their dream houses and never faces real problems.
We like other colors, but pink just looks so good on us. Hey!
That's why the citizens of Barbie Land are immature. Barbie and Ken don't even understand why they would spend the night together. They don't know what sex is. Interestingly, out of all the Mattel dolls, Midge was the only one who got married. In the 90s, she married Ken's friend and had twins. But in 2013, after a rebrand, she was single and childless again. Barbie dolls are forever young, and their relationships with the Kens are stuck in an endless honeymoon phase. These relationships never evolve. They remain immature. This is, of course, hyperbolic, but there's a more realistic sign of Barbie's immaturity. She can't make a decision or take responsibility. She doesn't really like Ken, but she can't bring herself to break up with him for good. She needs someone's help, some kind of support.
Do it in a day.
Literally and figuratively, watch me.
All of Barbie's personality traits point to a hysterical type of personality accentuation. In many movies, female characters who embody stereotypes about women are often hysterics. The very name of this type comes from the ancient Greek word for womb. People used to think there was a disease called hysteria that only affected women. That diagnosis doesn't exist anymore, and an accentuation type isn't a disease. And there are just as many male hysterics as female ones.
Oh, looks like this beach was a little too much beach for you, Ken.
If I wasn't severely injured, I would beat you off right now, Ken.
I'll beach off with you any day, Ken.
Hold my ice cream, Ken. All right, Ken, you're on. Let's beach off.
Hysterics are constantly anxious because they feel they need to live up to an ideal they've created in their heads. These people have an unstable sense of self-esteem. Their self-worth depends entirely on how others perceive them. It's like being a kid again, constantly seeking parental approval. Hysterics are just as demanding of others as they are of themselves. They tend to idealize people. For instance, Barbie idealized Gloria, the girl whose doll she was. In the real world, this often leads to disappointment, resentment, and anger. Barbie doesn't usually show negative emotions, but Ken clearly doesn't live up to her ideals. Actually, he might be even more immature than she is.
Kingdom Land.
Land
Land of the free and the men.
Right.
Well, we just took patriarchy and, made a patriarchy.
Yeah.
Could you just hold on for 1 second?
Oh, okay.
Sublime! Come on in. I'll play the guitar at you.
Oh, yay!
Unlike Ken, Barbie was able to cope with her struggles thanks to the support of her more mature friends. So, what's wrong with Ken? In the movie, Ken is a supporting character. In Barbie's world, his main goal is to get her attention. If he manages that, his day wasn't a total waste.
But when we're on the battlefield and you say Ken at 4 o'clock, how will I know if you mean us Kens or the other Kens?
Because, my dudes, we attack at 10 o'clock and take advantage of the morning waves.
Since the whole movie is structured as a parody of modern society, Ken represents the way women are treated in the real world. Like all residents of Barbie Land, Ken is immature and hyper-emotional. In many ways, he's a lot like Barbie. He gets upset when Barbie rejects him. He cries when he's disappointed, and he easily flies into a rage when things don't go his way. But he has one trait that sets him apart from Barbie.
I'm just Ken, anywhere else I'd be Ted.
Ken holds a grudge. When Barbie turned him down, he wanted revenge. He wanted to tear down the established order of Barbie Land and replace it with patriarchy.
Ken's Mojo Dojo Casa House.
This trait is typical of people with a narcissistic personality type. Shame and the fear of not fitting into the world are hallmarks of narcissism. They feel weak, but try hard to hide it. We see this in Ken, too. He's afraid he's not good enough for Barbie, even though his only purpose in life is to be with her. This is accompanied by intense anxiety and a willingness to express anger openly, at least among his friends. Shame and envy are the main emotions narcissists feel. Ken envies other Kens when Barbie pays attention to them. He's ashamed of himself when he fails, like on the beach when he wiped out on a plastic wave.
Ken!
People like this torment themselves with doubt every single day, feeling worthless. We see all of this when he sings that he's just Ken and he's always number two.
I'm always number two.
The main marker of narcissism is a split self-image. Deep down, their self-esteem is low, but to mask their dissatisfaction with themselves, narcissists construct a different self for the outside world. They act arrogant and demand praise and admiration. That's why everyone thinks Ken has an inflated ego. At a certain point, Ken loses sight of who he really is. The problem is, he's lived his whole life behind a false self, one that drove him to constantly fight for Barbie's attention.
Hi, Barbie!
Hi, Ken. Hi, Barbie. Hi, Barbie.
Hi, Barbie.
Hi, Ken.
In essence, she wasn't dating him, but rather only one facet of his personality. Their relationship could never be genuine, because Barbie didn't even know the real Ken, and neither did he. It's only after Barbie rejects him that Ken starts to ask himself this question. This happens to real people too, not just plastic dolls. At the end of the movie, Ken decides to find himself and build his identity around something other than false ideas about who he is. All of this comes from breaking his usual patterns, and maybe now he'll be able to build a healthy relationship. Thanks for watching. Do you think Barbie and Ken can build a healthy relationship now that they've both finally started trying to find themselves? Let us know in the comments.
I'm just